What's the dumbest thing you did that actually worked? I was in my final semester of college taking the hardest class of my degree with a professor who was notorious for failing students. This man took pride in having the lowest pass rate in the department and would brag about how many students dropped his class each semester. The final exam was worth 60% of our grade and was scheduled for 8 in the morning after I'd worked a double shift at the restaurant where I waited tables to pay my rent. I studied for weeks, but when my alarm went off that morning, I slept through it completely. I woke up in a panic at 11:30, realizing I'd missed the exam entirely. My heart nearly exploded as I checked my phone and saw 3 missed calls from my classmate wondering where I was. Professor Reynolds had a strict no makeup policy that he'd emphasized repeatedly throughout the semester. I rushed to campus anyway, hoping to catch him during his office hours to beg for mercy. When I arrived at his office, I saw something unexpected. His door was open, but he wasn't there. His laptop was sitting on his desk, still logged in, and I could see the final exam document open on the screen. Without thinking, I slipped into his office and quickly emailed the exam to myself. I knew this was definitely cheating and possibly illegal, but I was desperate. I raced home and completed the exam in the allotted 3 hours, then drove back to campus. In the quiet aftermath of my frantic efforts, a profound mix of anxiety and astonishment settled in my mind. I couldn't shake the irony of fate, how one foolish, desperate act inadvertently unraveled a sequence of events that, paradoxically, steered me toward a narrow escape from failure. Each heartbeat pulsed with both regret and a strange hope that destiny might forgive my reckless gamble. This vivid memory remains etched in my soul, a reminder of the absurd risks we sometimes take. I found Professor Reynolds in the faculty lounge and approached him with the most convincing performance of my life. I explained that I'd been in a minor car accident on the way to the exam and had been dealing with police reports all morning. I showed him my completed exam printed out and asked if he would accept it with a penalty he deemed appropriate. He looked at me suspiciously and said he'd need proof of the accident. That's when I realized the second dumbest part of my plan. I had no evidence. I stammered something about the police not giving me a report since it was just a fender bender when suddenly another professor walked in and greeted Reynolds. "Tough morning?" she asked him. Reynolds sighed and explained that he'd accidentally deleted half the exam files from his computer and was trying to recover them. My heart stopped. I realized what had happened. In my rush to email myself the exam, I must have somehow deleted files from his computer. He turned back to me with narrowed eyes, and I prepared for the worst when he suddenly said, "You know what? Just leave your exam with me. Consider yourself lucky. At least you have proof you completed it. Some of your classmates might have to retake the entire thing." I couldn't believe it. I nodded solemnly and left his office before he could change his mind. 2 weeks later, grades were posted, and I'd somehow received a B- in the class. To this day, I'm not sure if he knew what I'd done and took pity on me, or if he genuinely believed my accident story. Either way, breaking into my professor's office and accidentally deleting his files somehow saved me from failing the class I needed to graduate. Sometimes I still have nightmares about being called back to the university to have my degree revoked after they discover what really happened that day.